everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Gemma. I create weekly art content, so I like to do lots of drawings and paintings and trying out different art materials on my channel. So if you're thinking about taking GCSE Art, subscribing to my channel now would be the perfect time. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about GCSE Art and I'm going to answer some of the questions that my students had for me about taking GCSE Art as an option. So let's delve straight into it. So my first question is, how much of a portfolio would you have to provide for the first assessment? You would be working towards 4 assessment objectives and you would need to show each of those assessment objectives in your project. Now, I would expect an entire sketchbook with a full final piece for that first assessment. The very first assessment would take the first entire term of the school year to complete. Generally, we work on 3 projects between year 10 and bridging over into year 11, and then you would have your component 2 project also. So in total you would work on 4 projects, but this is just at my school. The school that you are at will work their projects differently. What sort of things do you learn in year 10 and 11 to help you pass your GCSE Art? So you would learn lots of different art processes and skills. You will learn how to research artists and how to write about artists. You will learn how to analyse artwork and then also how to develop your own ideas based on the artwork you have actually looked at. You will take inspiration from the artists that you have looked at and then you will create your own artwork in response. So it's a very creative process on how to look at work and then how to apply that and create your own pieces of artwork within your project. Is it true you have to carry a massive book around with you? The way in which I run my GCSE course, my students work in a sketchbook and we work within an A3 sketchbook. So yes, at my school you do have to carry around a large sketchbook. Some students choose to buy a little carrier for their sketchbook. Do you ever get to do your own style of art? Now, with the assessment objectives, so developing your ideas, you will be looking at lots of different artists that relate to the ideas that you have for your project. And the way in which you develop your project is up to you. So if you have a certain style in mind that you want to work in, then that's absolutely brilliant. You can look at that style within your work and develop those ideas to complete an entire project. The whole point of GCSE Art is to expand your ideas and your understanding of art and also to make you aware of lots of different art styles. Do you have to learn about other artists? And yes, you do. You do have to learn about other artists. Assessment objective 1 is to develop your ideas. And to develop your ideas, you will often look at other artists. Is GCSE Art just about drawing? No. In GCSE Art, there is so much that you can explore. In the very first project that we do at my school, it's all about experimentation with new art techniques and processes. So there's so much more to it than just drawing. You can do printmaking, you can do painting, you could do collage, you can do drawing. There's so many avenues for you to explore within GCSE Art and you don't have to limit yourself to just drawing. Is it a good qualification to have? In my opinion, yes. GCSE Art is a really good GCSE to have because it would open up other avenues for post-16 education. I've got lots of students that have gone on to do creative subjects at A-levels or to study a full-time post-16 creative course at college. And without those GCSEs in art, they would not have been able to have progressed onto those courses. Who are the main artists we would learn about? Like I said in my earlier answer to one of the questions, I tend to allow my students a little bit more freedom on choosing their artists. It's usually guided. I do provide a document with lots of different artists relating to our topic and the students are able to pick off of that. The artist selection is a little bit more free than than perhaps in Key Stage 3, where you might all be working and looking at the same artist at the same time. Now, I know not all schools allow this for GCSE Art. Some schools are a bit more prescriptive on who you are allowed to look at for your project. Does GCSE include a written art history exam? No, it does not. The only exam that you will have to complete for GCSE Art is your practical exam, your 10-hour exam. What sort of work is involved? So you would have sketches and paintings, you might have some printing works, you would have photographs. There's lots of ways in which you will refine and develop your project as you go along in the process of creating a GCSE Art project. Will we be doing more pop art? And again, like I've said previously, depending on who you look at, you could incorporate pop art into your project. One of my current students is looking at skulls within natural forms, and they have brought in pop art within their project because they've chosen to look at Andy Warhol and some of his skulls. So if you are interested in pop art, then yes, you can look at pop art. Do you choose the subjects or themes, or are they prescribed? I choose the overall topic, so I'll choose the title of the topic and I will give lots of ideas on avenues that you could take for that topic. It's a really creative environment to be in, obviously being GCSE Art. However, there are lots of different avenues that you could explore within GCSE Art. One of the things that I love is going into my classroom and no two of my students are working on the same thing within their projects. They're all given the same title and topic, however how they have chosen to develop their projects is really individual. Do you get to choose which mediums to use? And the answer for that is yes. It's a really good idea to try and show a broad range of mediums in your GCSE artwork. Your teachers will always encourage you to try other mediums, and also they will show you and expose you to lots of different techniques that you could possibly use in your sketchbook to help you develop your work to the best of your ability. Is GCSE Art as hard as people make it out to be? There is a lot of work involved in creating a good quality art project, and to get the very highest marks, there is a lot of work involved. If you think about how long it can take to create an art piece, you will know from that there is a lot of time and dedication involved to develop and improve your art skills. And you also will have your annotations to include within your work as well. So there is a lot of work involved. Some people do tend to take GCSE Art thinking that it's going to be an easy option. However, just bear in mind that you do have a lot of work to do outside of lesson times as well. If you're not very good at time management and organising your time between your lessons and your homework, then really make sure you consider that before putting GCSE Art down as an option. How often will students be able to draw or paint in their own style? So again, depending on who you look at, what avenues you're actually exploring in your project, that's going to be down to you. So for example, if you're really into anime and you're wanting to incorporate that into your project, you will have to do some research on anime artists before you then go into that style, so it makes sense within your project. Is digital art accepted? I have had students in the past that have incorporated digital art in their work, and I think that this is an absolutely brilliant thing to show in your GCSE artwork. I think it would be absolutely fantastic to see more of this, but it is not a requirement that you have to have digital work in your sketchbooks. If you've got access to it, then absolutely brilliant. You can incorporate that into your GCSE project. I hope that you have found some answers to the questions that you may have had about taking GCSE Art. If you have any further questions, just pop them down in the comment section. I get back to all of my comments and hopefully I'll be able to answer your ones soon. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my content. It could be really useful for you when you are planning out your projects for your GCSE Art, so make sure you subscribe. If you have found this video really useful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't seen my other video about the general GCSE art advice, then go and watch this one now, because that gives a lot of information about what the GCSE involves. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.